1 Kings chapter 10. The Queen of Sheba visits Solomon. We're going to read a few verses here. Starting in verse 1, when the Queen of Sheba heard about the fame of Solomon and his relation to the name of the Lord, she came to test him with hard questions. Arriving at Jerusalem with a very great caravan, with camels carrying spices, large quantities of gold and precious stones, she came to Solomon and talked with him about all that she had on her mind. Solomon answered all her questions. Nothing was too hard for the king to explain to her. When the Queen of Sheba saw all the wisdom of Solomon and the palace that he had built, the food on his table, the seating of his officials, the attending servants in their robes, his cupbearers, and the burnt offerings he made at the temple of the Lord, she was overwhelmed. She said to the king, "The report I heard in my own country about your achievements and your wisdom is true. But I did not believe these things until I came and saw with my own eyes. Indeed, not even half was told me in wisdom and wealth. You have far exceeded the report I heard. How happy your men must be, how happy your officials who continually stand before you and hear their wisdom. Praise be to the Lord your God, who has delighted in you and placed you on the throne of Israel. Because of the Lord's eternal love for Israel, he has made you king to maintain justice and righteousness." And she gave the king 120 talents of gold, large quantities of spices and precious stones. Never again were so many spices brought in as those that the Queen of Sheba gave to King Solomon. Hiram's ships brought gold from Orpha, and from there they brought great cargoes of almug wood and precious stones. The king used almug wood to make supports for the temple of the Lord and for the royal palace, and to make harps and the lyres for the musicians. So much almug wood was never been imported or seen since that day. King Solomon gave the Queen of Sheba all she desired and asked for, besides what he had given her out of his royal bounty. Then she left and returned with her retinue to her own country. We look at this little story of her coming to see the great wonders and the wisdom in that Solomon had. How much did she invest in coming? All that she had heard about him, but she had to see it for herself. How much did she invest in coming to see him? Was it just kind of a casual thing? Well, I'll catch it on my way. You know, when I'm passing through Jerusalem, I'll just swing by. Intent, purpose, wasn't it? Because she had heard so much great things about him. And was it just a small party coming? Pretty major, wasn't it? Camels, all loaded down with spices. She had gold, precious stones. And she had heard all of this stuff about Solomon and how wise he was. So she was going to give him some hard questions. She was going to test him. And she did. And what was the outcome? She was thoroughly impressed. He answered every hard question she had. She's seen all the splendor that he had, how everyone was happy there. She's seen the food on his table. She's seen how great he was. And how did she give the credit? Let's see here. Praise be to the Lord your God, who has delighted in you and placed you on the throne of Israel. She recognized where he had gotten all this. Praise be to the Lord your God. And in turn, then, what did Solomon do? She gave him all kinds of spices, stuff that they had never even had there before. Because remember, she was in the trades. I mean, she dealt all over, had many seaports and that. She got things from all over the place. She brought things that he had never seen before. Spices and that. So in turn, he gives her bounty, yes? Mm-hmm. When we look at this passage, how much do we truly put forth an effort to know about God? To know all that we possibly can about God. Because He truly is the one with all the answers, right? I mean, to the Queen of Sheba, Solomon had all the answers, right? I mean, she asked every hard question and he answered it. Do we have that same attitude towards God? That we want to learn more and more and more about Him? That we have more and more questions that we want Him to answer? Are we putting forth an effort? Are we putting all of our best things at His feet? Or is it just kind of a passing thing? If we had the same desire that the Queen of Sheba had towards God, there'd be nothing standing in our way, would there? One of the things that we need to constantly work on, I think, in our lives is always putting God first in everything. Her situation here was that she heard all these great things about Solomon. She had to see him for herself. She wasn't going to take somebody's word for it. She had to see him for herself. That's the way Christ should be in our life. That we want to know firsthand. So when we, kind of like today, what happened today with the baptism of Jim and Angela. Why did they want to get baptized? Did they see something in us, hopefully, that gave them something to look at? Why are they like they are? What is it they have that we don't yet? Isn't that what we're to be showing? Something that we have, we need to show them. We need to give them the answers that they're looking for. And it needs to be obvious that we have those answers. I think each one of us in here that is a Christian has the answer to salvation, don't we? We should, shouldn't we? If we have became a Christian, we know the plan of salvation, don't we? We know the gospel. We've read it. Do we communicate it? Do we show it? It's like what Paul was talking about tonight. That Spirit in us, that Holy Spirit, is it empowering us to do what we're supposed to be doing? Or are we just kind of floating along? The queen wasn't just floating along. She had a mission. And she was going on that mission. And she was going to find out the answers. We should have that same tenacity in doing what we need to do to find the answers. To find those that are in need of the truth. To set forth an example. She gave of her wealth. And what did she get in return? Even more. It's the same with us. The more we give to God, the more He is going to bless us in all ways. Just a short story to think about. This happened long ago, but these principles apply to us today. We have to have the same zeal and the want to as the queen did towards Solomon, finding the answers. If there's anyone that needs to make a decision to take that step to follow Christ in scriptural baptism, let that be known as we stand and sing our closing song.